Before we begin, please be advised that the material you are about to hear may be inappropriate or disturbing for some viewers. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. The content presented has not been exaggerated or taken out of context. It reflects the actual statements made by the prosecution, defense, and Mia on May 30th, 2025. Some portions have been censored to comply with YouTube's guidelines. You will hear a narrated summary of Mia's testimony from the trial of Sean Diddy Combs. Source: Courtroom Reporter, A Inner City Press, ex-com. All parties involved are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Proceed with caution. The courtroom was tense as the second day of Mia's testimony began. It was a Friday morning in downtown Los Angeles, and every seat in the gallery was filled. Reporters scribbled in notepads, their eyes shifting between the witness stand and the defendant, Sean Diddy Combs, seated calmly with his legal team. Outside the courthouse, cameras flashed and speculation buzzed, but inside, it was quiet, almost reverent. The judge reminded everyone present. These are serious allegations. The content would be disturbing. Viewer and listener discretion was advised. Mia sat at the witness stand, composed but visibly burdened. Her voice, though steady, carried the weight of years of silence. Her testimony was raw, detailed, and deeply personal. This was not the story of a disgruntled employee or a brief misunderstanding. This was the story of a woman who had lived in the orbit of power for nearly a decade and emerged scarred. She began by describing her early days working for Combs, a period she once believed to be a dream opportunity. At the time, she was young, ambitious, and determined to make her mark in the entertainment industry. Combs, known globally as a music mogul, entrepreneur, and cultural icon, offered her what seemed like a golden ticket, a job inside the inner circle of bad boy entertainment. From the outset, Mia said the environment was framed as a family. Everyone referred to one another that way. Not just co-workers, but brothers and sisters in a high-stakes, high-pressure, high-loyalty machine. The label created a sense of belonging, but also blurred boundaries and expectations. What started as a professional role quickly expanded into something more personal, more demanding, and eventually more dangerous. Mia shared that she dated a fellow employee, a sound engineer named Matt. Despite sharing an apartment in New York, their schedules rarely aligned. They were constantly on call, traveling, organizing, putting out fires, and responding to the unpredictable demands of Combs. The job consumed their lives. It was more than a 9-to-5, it was a 24/7 immersion into the world of Diddy. Then came South Africa, a turning point. Mia was sent to accompany Cassie, Combs' then-girlfriend, on a film shoot. It was meant to be a routine assignment, but it turned into something far darker. During the trip, Cassie discovered that Combs was cheating on her with another woman. She broke down emotionally, and Mia, loyal to both, tried to support her. That support came at a cost. Mia testified that when she stopped answering Combs' calls, his demeanor changed drastically. He became enraged, threatening, abusive. The court heard excerpts of WhatsApp messages and emails. In one, Combs wrote, "If you don't call me in 2 minutes, I'm telling everything. You're fired. ABC and their lawyers, let's go to war." In another, "Call me now. Call me now. 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 Then don't ever call me again." According to Mia, Combs accused her of betrayal and disloyalty. He threatened her job. He threatened to expose her personal life, and at one point, he even threatened to kill her. She told the court that she was in a state of panic and disbelief. She described feeling helpless, not just because of the threats, but because she didn't have the resources to leave. She couldn't afford to change her flight. She had no protection. She had no control. To try to calm him down, Mia wrote him an email. In it, she apologized. She told him she loved him. She offered to pay for her own travel. She tried to sound upbeat, supportive. even while she was terrified. "I'm really sorry, Puff," she wrote. "You know I love you. I just want to make sure you're good." When asked in court why she wrote those words, her answer was clear. "Because I worked for him. To him, that's all that mattered. I needed to survive." She said she copied another staff member, KK, on the email, not because she wanted her involved, but because she needed someone to see what was happening. "I was in limbo," she said. "I didn't know what to do. When she returned from South Africa, things didn't get better. She was transferred to Combs' office in Los Angeles, but her access to him was severely limited. Ironically, this made her job harder. Every decision still needed his approval, but now he was unreachable. She felt like she was being iced out, professionally paralyzed, unable to move forward or backward." Then came the formal suspension. The jury was shown an HR memo dated March 31, 2011. It stated that Mia was being suspended without pay at Combs' request. The reason given: insubordination. Mia said the truth was far more petty. Combs had flown into a rage over a shirt that hadn't been properly prepared. "He went bad crazy about his shirt," she told the court. She tried to explain, to fix it, but it didn't matter. She was made an example. Emails from that period painted a picture of confusion and humiliation. In one, a colleague asked her for tickets. She replied, "Puff is currently firing me right now." He laughed, thinking it was a joke. "No, seriously," she responded, with a sad face emoji. Despite all this, Mia didn't quit. She said she couldn't. "I'd tried to run away before," she testified. "It didn't work." She recalled an incident on a yacht in St. Bart's where Combs chased her after an argument and told her, "You better learn to walk on water like Jesus. Get the fuck out of here." She tried to leave the boat, but a hurricane prevented it. Her passport was in the possession of his staff. She was trapped. These early stories, spanning just the first hours of the day's testimony, revealed the core of Mia's experience. A life spent serving a powerful man under the constant threat of emotional, professional, and at times physical punishment. What looked from the outside like a high-powered job in the entertainment world was, in her account, an extended nightmare, carefully concealed by social media posts, professional smiles, and years of silence. This was only the beginning. But already, the courtroom could feel that Mia's story, in all its complexity and contradiction, would force difficult questions about fame, power, loyalty, and survival. As the hours passed on May 30th, the courtroom settled into a deeper focus. The atmosphere was heavy, not with drama, but with the quiet intensity of a person speaking truthfully about years of personal struggle. Mia remained calm and clear as she answered the prosecution's questions, her story becoming more layered with every word. After her return from South Africa, where she had accompanied Cassie during a difficult time, Mia said her working conditions changed dramatically. She was moved to the Los Angeles office, but the support she once had from Mr. Combs seemed to disappear. She said she still needed his approval for many daily tasks, but he became unresponsive. "I couldn't do my job without his direction," she explained, "but he wouldn't reply. It felt impossible." Eventually, she was suspended without pay. She recalled how it happened. Mr. Combs entered the office, looked over a set of plans she had prepared, and became upset that things were not to his liking. Though she tried to explain and offer alternatives, she said he began shouting. Later, that day, she received notice from Human Resources that she was suspended. A series of emails from this time were shown in court. In one, a colleague asked her a casual question about tickets. She responded, "I'm being let go right now." The colleague laughed it off. She replied, "No, seriously." The moment showed how even in difficult situations, she had no one who truly understood the stress she was under. The court then heard about a critical event during a trip to St. Bart's for the New Year celebration in 2010-2011. Mia explained that during this trip she was asked to handle tasks that were outside her job description. When she didn't meet expectations, Mr. Combs became very upset. She described feeling unsafe, and in that moment she wanted to leave the situation entirely. She tried to exit the boat they were staying on, but weather conditions made it impossible. Her passport was being held by staff, so she couldn't leave the country on her own. Eventually, she returned to the yacht and was then directed to fly to Las Vegas with Mr. Combs. In the car, on the way to the plane, she overheard a call where he discussed placing her on another suspension. "I didn't even get to speak," she said. "It felt like I was being erased." Despite all this, Mia said she stayed in the job because she didn't see a way out. She feared that leaving would mean losing everything, not just her career, but her ability to work in the industry at all. "I didn't think I could get another job," she said. "I was scared of what might happen if I left." She eventually did leave in 2017 after working on a documentary project. She had been told the company was shutting down. Mia testified, that she felt emotionally overwhelmed, like her entire life had been upended. "I cried myself to sleep," she said quietly. "I ignored all the calls. I didn't want to talk to anyone." She later contacted a legal team who requested mediation. Her lawyers originally asked for a significant settlement. In the end, she received a smaller amount, just enough to cover unpaid work and travel expenses. "Would you return the money to have none of this ever happen?" the prosecutor asked. Despite an objection from the defense, the judge allowed the question. Mia's answer was immediate. "Absolutely." Then the tone of the hearing shifted. The cross-examination began. The defense team aimed to show inconsistencies. They introduced screenshots from Mia's social media over the years, posts where she had smiled alongside Mr. Combs, celebrated his birthday, and referred to him in positive terms. In one post, she wrote, "Thank you for being the good kind of crazy." Another read, "Extended family for life." There were group photos, birthday wishes, and public expressions of gratitude. "You seemed happy," the defense said. "You called him your mentor. You made him a scrapbook. You made a birthday video." Mia did not deny this. "I did," she said, "but that doesn't mean everything was okay." When asked how she could speak kindly about someone she now described as controlling and harmful, she answered, "That's how it works. There were good moments. There were also very difficult ones. It was confusing, and when things were good, you wanted to believe it could stay that way." The defense tried to show contradictions, suggesting that Mia's past statements didn't align with her current testimony, but she stood by her words. "I didn't feel safe to tell the truth then," she said. "I felt like I had to pretend. It was all about survival." By the midpoint of the day, it was clear that this wasn't a story about a simple working relationship gone wrong. It was about power, pressure, and a young woman trying to hold on to her identity while being pulled in every direction. The evidence showed both closeness and fear, public praise and private pain. Mia's testimony, even under the defense's sharp questioning, revealed a complex and emotionally intense relationship that shaped her life for nearly a decade. And this was only the middle of the day. As the afternoon wore on and the light in the courtroom began to fade, the final portion of Mia's testimony brought both emotional intensity and critical legal exchanges. The jury, quiet and focused, had listened for hours to stories that wove together loyalty, fear, trauma, and survival. By this point, Mia had shared a picture of her years with Sean "Diddy" Combs that was complex and deeply personal, one marked by public admiration on the outside and private distress on the inside. As the cross-examination deepened, the defense continued to press Mia on the perceived contradictions in her behavior. They presented more social media posts, birthday tributes, and photos where Mia appeared joyful, playful, even affectionate toward Combs. In one, she referred to him as her mentor and brother. In another, she was pictured beside him at events, laughing. One collage included images of them throughout the years, which she had crafted herself and gifted to him. The defense asked, "If this person was causing you so much pain, why create this scrapbook?" Mia didn't hesitate. "Because I was trying to stay safe. Because I thought that maybe if I was kind enough, careful enough, useful enough, he would treat me better, that he wouldn't get angry." She explained the emotional duality, that it was possible to both fear someone and want their approval. "There were times when I felt like I was his friend," she said softly, "and other times I was afraid of what would happen if I said the wrong thing." The prosecution stepped in to object multiple times during this phase of questioning, often on the grounds of mischaracterization or emotional manipulation, and in several instances, the judge sustained the objections. Still, the defense succeeded in portraying the conflict between Mia's past words and her present testimony, raising the question of credibility. But Mia held her ground. "It wasn't all bad," she said, "and that made it harder, because when things were good, you believed they could stay good, until they weren't." Near the end of the day, the jury was shown a particularly emotional set of messages between Mia and another employee, KK. In them, Mia expressed feeling hopeless and overwhelmed. "My life is over," she wrote in one message. "The pain hurts so much." She was clearly in emotional crisis. When asked why she didn't quit at that point, Mia said quietly, "I didn't think I could. I didn't see a way out. This was all I knew." In the final exchange of the day, the defense asked if she had ever told anyone at the time about the worst moments she described. She admitted that she hadn't. "I thought I was going to carry those memories with me forever." In silence, courtroom grew still. Then, the final question. "Are you saying everything you said today is true?" Mia looked up without hesitation. "Yes, every word." The judge announced a sidebar, then called an official break to end the day's session. The gallery slowly emptied. Some jurors looked shaken, others scribbled last notes. The attorneys packed their folders, already thinking ahead to the next round of questions. But Mia remained seated for a moment longer, as if grounding herself. It had been a full day, one filled with pain, confrontation, and courage. As she stepped down from the witness stand, the quiet in the room spoke louder than any testimony. Something significant had just been shared. Whether or not the jury would believe her was still unknown, but no one could deny the weight of what they had heard. The court recessed, the day ended, and the truth as Mia saw it had finally been spoken aloud.